So this is my portion of the video. Chapter 22, make them identify with your choice. So basically the book started out with a man and he was arguing with his wife, and it kind of went like this. So you think we should raise taxes only on the rich? That's class welfare. What do you mean by class welfare? You. Then her phone rings, she answers, and then when she returns to the conversation, he says, "Who was that?" "My mother." "You told her we weren't coming for Thanksgiving, right?" "Well, You didn't? I thought we agreed to stay home for once." So as you can hear by the tone of his voice, he seems pretty pissed about it. But he uses this thing called identity strategy. Few of us get to pitch our arguments on formal, organized occasions the way presidents do. Our own arguments often come and go without any real resolution. He could even add on to the conversation by saying, "Hey! When I promise something, I stick to that promise. I don't change my mind because the sound of my mother's voice makes me feel guilty." Then he could deliver a deliberative knockout blow that stresses the disadvantages of travel, like, "And think of flying on the worst day of the year with a good chance of missing a connection and eating Thanksgiving dinner at an airport, TGI Fridays." He could also toss logical grenades, mix in some pathos over stress level at work, do a little ethos thing about the sacrifices he has made for the family over the years, offer a tempting vision of a happy, quiet Thanksgiving at home. He may win and get to stay home, but the eventual result most likely is a Pyrrhic victory. By winning the argument, he risks loosening family ties and a bunch of other stuff, maybe even damaging his marriage. It's just sad. In conclusion, identity strategy, which is the surest way to commit an audience to an action, is to get them to identify with it, to see the choice as one that helps define them as a group. A spin-off of the identity strategy is irony, saying one thing to outsiders with the meaning revealed only to your group. So I'm going to end it here with a quote from Bill Murray. I don't know why I'm going to leave it. I just like the quote. And bye.
Chapter 23 is about how to fix a mistake that you have made. To show his point, Heinrichs uses an example from when he worked as a journalist. He talks about how he accidentally wrote that Mount St. Helens was in Oregon, not Washington. The governor of Washington wrote him a letter requesting her volcano back. To fix his mistake, he bought a prop volcano and mailed it back to them, returning the volcano. In the end, the governor sent back a picture of her happily holding the toy volcano she got. There are a few tools that you can use to repair a situation that you have messed up. Set your goals right after you screw up. When framing your response, you should keep in mind what you want out of it. Be the first with the news. According to Heinrichs, hurry so you can be the first one to break the bad news. This way you can deliver it how you want to, using the tips that he teaches. Switch immediately to the future. Instead of focusing on your mistake, you should instead focus on what you will do to fix your mistake. Enhance your ethos. The worst part about a mistake is that your reputation suffers. Avoid belittling the victim. You want to make sure that you make it clear that you regret your mistake. If you treat the mistake like no big deal, not only will the other person be upset, but they will also feel personally insulted. Don't rely on an apology. Heinrich says that an apology only hurts your image, and it doesn't help the other person, so don't apologize.